Now, I've spent the past 6 months or so playing pretty much nothing but Asyms on Roblox. Sure, there's the occasional dress to impress bout, but generally, I just don't stray too far from the Asym genre anymore. And the thing about that is that if the genre is oversaturated or samey, then it can just start to blend together. And really, this isn't something that I feel about with a whole lot of different genres. I mean, I've been playing Call of Duty since I was 4, and a lot of the games are just easily identifiable by just saying when or where it takes place. If I were to say this is a modern futuristic shooter set in 25, you'd automatically know, oh, it's Black Ops 2. If I were to say it's set in the Eastern Front during World War II, then you'd know it's World at War. I could go on. Now, I'm going to say that the Asym I'm thinking of is set in retro Roblox. You need a hint? You use stamina to outplay the killer. That's your hint. At least like 3 of them come to mind. And while, yes, Die of Death is different, kind of, it just really just blends together, you know? A lot of these games just feel like they end up being rehashes of the same idea, even if it isn't even set in the same setting. After all, Bite by Night has been getting criticized for a lot of people just because it just plays safe and sticks to a format that works instead of branching out with newer ideas. And while, yes, I do understand that from the perspective of a developer, you don't always want to make a game different, because if you do the different mechanics and different playstyle and all that, you run the risk of the game flopping, and that would be really bad for morale because you just potentially spent years on that game. Not only that, there's also like a financial incentive too. People gotta pay their workers, you know, that's just how it is. And if you're developing a game, generally you'd want to be financially compensated for doing that. Some don't. Obviously, Outcome Memories was a free project, more or less. But eventually, people start to play things safe and stick to a system that just works. Sadly, though, that's also to the detriment to the player experience, too. You know, after all, I find it quite hard to get excited for a new Asym project. More often than not, they follow quite closely in the footsteps of other Asyms that came out before because they know that formula works. Which, I guess, could be a commentary on games as a whole right now. But pretty much everything has gotten stale over the past few years. It especially hurts Roblox, though, because these kinds of things can be pumped out and are a dime a dozen on the platform. Of course, there are a few goodies that do try to be different, but they're small diamonds in the rough of tens of thousands of really popular games that just overshadow them. Now, this isn't even talking about some of the scummy practices they employ either. The thing I'm talking about right now is just a little conspiracy I have about some of the collabs. Like, with Metal, first it was Bite by Night, you know, that was fine, a little weird, but now it's also taken Violence District. Something about that, just, I don't trust it. You know, that's 2 collabs in a very small amount of time. Normally, companies don't do them for free. I mean, sometimes they can, but generally they don't, and 2 free collabs pretty much back-to-back is really weird. Knowing companies, you know, they don't do anything for free. And I guess you could say that it isn't technically free because Metal gets users from Roblox and vice versa. But it's just really weird, especially since both games do sport copyrighted characters, and Violence District even has at least 1 copyrighted song with Hydrogen. Plus, they shouldn't have microtransactions in the game anyway because they do have copyrighted material, but that's a different topic for a different day. But it's just weird to me. Because first, it could have been passed off as, you know, Metal just liked the game, but now it's becoming a pattern, and that's just weird to me. I don't know. But yeah, all of this is just to really say that the genre has just become bland. I do still enjoy the games and do want to make content on them, but I just had to say this because it's becoming more and more difficult to get excited and want to play them, especially new things that are coming out, because 9 times out of 10, I see like gameplay footage or something, and it just ends up being, oh, this is a game that I've already seen before, just with different graphics. I don't know, it's just hard to want to do that. You know what I mean? From corporatization and just rehashes of the same game, I've started to feel apathetic about anything that comes out recently. And, you know, that's pretty bad for the genre as a whole. Anyway, that's pretty much the end. I just wanted to I just wanted to yap a tiny little bit. My Discord is in the description, and that's pretty much it. This is the end of the video. I don't care enough about anything right now to make a big video. Plus, I have like 7 billion big videos in the works. So, yeah, I'm gone.